everyone, of course, colleagues and parents have seen the backyard and how wonderful it is. And the play has really changed because the landscape has changed. The sensory world has changed in the backyard. The physical materials have changed. And it's just a whole new world. So when you change the physical environment, the imagination changes as well, and how children use that environment. So we have that great big log that we see, and of course there was quite a debate with the monkey bars, because we love our monkey bars, yes? Monkey bars are very exciting, and the children were, some feel a little melancholic about losing their monkey bars. And you see there's some skills key skills that are developed in that with the monkey bars, but then when you have this great big log, it invites this huge social engagement, which didn't happen with the monkey bars, and not to the degree. So we have a great big pirate ship. That log becomes a pirate ship, and Ms.Fulford gets to be invited occasionally on that pirate ship, so I get right in there, it's really great. So when they go across, I'm going to compare it with the monkey bars. When they went across the monkey bars, if you one at a time, maybe two, you have to make sure they don't collide. But now there could be 5 or 6 children on that log. They have to be able to spatially orient themselves in a totally different way, and they're going to explore that log based upon their own skills. They're going to take their time. So you'll have the one who feels very confident with their sense of balance, and they'll be able to walk right across to the very top and maybe even do a little this. You know, I would never do that. Ms. Fulford's watching carefully. Please don't think that I'm not. But, you know, they felt comfortable to do that. And there's other ones that crawl their way up. And this is not just the little preschool children. This is grade 1 and 2 as well, and anyone who engages that. I love even seeing the middle school students trying to get up on that log and even doing silly things, and they're being silly, but in the same way, they're showing their skills, they're developing in their own way, even if they're fooling around. It doesn't matter, we have to look at it in a different way. So physically, it's changed. And so they have a great big pirate ship, and then we get our buckets, and we get a big rope. I have a very large rope, it's about 12 feet, and I throw it over that log. And they get their little buckets and they fill it with stone. And then they create pulley systems. Now I didn't teach them that, they did this themselves. And we know later on where that leads to, yes? We go into mechanics, we go into physics, we're doing weight and measurement, we're counting how many stones we're gonna put in there, and we're gonna weigh how much can I actually hoist based upon my physical power. And it varies across the board, and that develops proprioception all on its own, all self-initiated, and all Ms. Fulford is doing is encouraging them, watching them carefully. Maybe I'll join in the game through their imagination. Maybe I'll start singing a pirate song because I want to get some rhyming scheme in there, and I want them to sing along, right? Because that's language, yes? That's developing the skills for literacy. So they're all engaged in that, and they're all going to work on their own level. But I didn't see that play before, and it's just because we changed something in the backyard that's changed the way their imagination works and the skills that it invites. So they're also developing negotiating skills and language skills. So the ones who maybe don't feel comfortable sharing what they need, they're going to get up there and they're going to be ordering, because they embody the pirate. You have to remember, our imagination and our thinking, they live in that world. And when we pause, we can also reconnect to that as well, because imagination and thinking are all interconnected. And that's very much in the early childhood years, and even as we get older, right? They're not two different realms, they work together. So there's a lot of language components happening at that time, and it's great listening to them. And so there's all these different aspects of a child's being cultivated just with a log. And Ms. Fulford didn't do anything. They initiated it. And it creates, what's so beautiful is that it creates this sense of wonder and curiosity and imagination, which leads later on into these capacities of self-discovery and experimentation, and really observing and really seeking something outside of themselves. It's the foundation for seeking knowledge, whether it's the self, or it's on a social realm, or if it's the outdoor environment. And we want to really give them that opportunity as an inner foundation. So you have the academic components that come when they've been given the opportunity to play, because we know that it works on so many different developmental domains. But it's these inner characteristics that I feel are most important, because that's the fire, that's the fuel that motivates a child to understand the world and themselves. And you can't teach them that. You cannot teach curiosity. You cannot teach wonder. You can provide opportunities, and you can place them in an environment that inspires them and cultivates that within. You can't really measure that, but you can see it later on with their engagement when they get so excited about some project and they're fully engaged and they're on fire and they're full of passion, and they'll work and they'll work and they'll work and they'll work. And that comes from all those inner qualities.